Hello, church. My name is Stacy Orr, and I coordinate the women's events here at Heights Church. April has been a beautiful month where we have had the opportunity to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. And in our current devotional series, we have been focusing on living out our new lives in Christ. It has been a great reminder that we are a new creation in Jesus Christ, and as a new creation, we get to live differently. Currently, I'm working on our upcoming women's event, where we'll be focusing on embracing the new. During this event and our time together, we're going to be spending time unpacking the verse found in 2 Corinthians 5:17, which states the following. This means that anyone who belongs to Christ is a new person. The old life has gone and the new life has begun. There are so many facets of this verse that we can learn from. So I wanted to spend a few minutes talking to you about living a new life in Christ. This promise clearly articulates that if you belong to Christ, meaning that you have accepted Jesus as your Lord, you have entered into a new life with Him. We no longer have to do the things that governed our old way of life. He will help us live differently. Let's face it, our old lives were probably a bit messy. When we live in a broken world, we are bound to break things. There's often a saying we use as Christians that goes something like this: be in the world, but not of it. There's actually not a specific Bible verse that says it quite that way, but there are a few verses that kind of unpack the concept of not being of this world. They can be found in 1 John 2:15 through 17, James 4:4, and John 17:14 through 15, to name a few. Go check them out in your chair time. So one of the ways we try to live out our new lives in Christ is trying to be in the world, but not of it. But what does that really mean? Going back to that original verse found in 2 Corinthians, we are reminded that when we are in Christ, the old life is gone and the new life has come. This promise reminds us that we can live in a broken world while we are here on earth, and that when we lean in to our new life with Christ, He will help us live the abundant life that He has called us to, rather than simply leaning into the concepts and ideas that our society deems valuable. Essentially, we can be in the world, but not of it. We are able to relate to our friends and families, our neighbors and coworkers, because we are experiencing the same world that they are experiencing. We are experiencing loss and sadness, fear, frustration, and anger. You name it, all of the emotions. But unlike the world, we can rely on the promises and the direction of God to help guide our steps and navigate us through difficult circumstances. In His power, we can choose a different path forward, the Jesus path forward. And it's in this Jesus path forward that we are allowed or able to live out our new lives in Christ. We might not always be perfect at this life. Let's face it, we're very not close to perfection. But we can know with certainty that God will help us release the old patterns that are holding us back and embrace the new life that He has in store for us. Church, will you join me in fully embracing and stepping into the new life that God has given you in Christ? I know that you will be glad that you did. Thanks for joining me today, church. I know this was short but hopefully a little sweet as we learn to lean into the new life that Christ has for us. Have a great week and see you next time.